Happy Monday, everyone. Carmen Braaksma here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Arvada, Colorado. And if you're new to my channel and you've not seen what I've been doing this whole month of August, I started a new thing on Mondays called MoJOY Monday. And basically, it's just a way for me to come on here and show you some card ideas that will help not only get your mojo going, but also bring you joy as you do more crafting. Because I think that is what's fun about crafting. It brings me joy, and I'm sure that all of you wouldn't be doing this if it didn't bring you joy as well. So, I've been focusing on the sweet strawberry bundle for the month of August, and along with this You're a Peach Designer Series paper. So this will be the last Monday that I'll be focusing on these two items. But I wanted to just show you that the card I'm doing today, I really, really like, and it's going to take, it's going to be able to show you both sides of the designer paper. I think the biggest struggle that I have with the designer paper is that I love it so much, but a lot of times I love the other side just as much. And so it always breaks my heart when I have to put adhesive on one of the sides to cover it up. So the card that I'm going to show you today is going to get rid of that problem and be able to show you both sides of the paper. So let's get started with that. And I will put all the dimensions in the description of this video, so I won't be talking about the dimensions here. So what I did is typically your card base is, what is it, like 8.5 at 5.5, scored at 4.25. But I went ahead and cut this down because I don't want a full card base for the front of the card. So this is basically going to be at 5.5 instead of the full 8.5. So I went ahead and scored it though, at the normal place at the 4.25. So what I did was I just went ahead and folded that in, and I took, and I'm going to show you another card at the end here that I did using these basic borders. But for this one, I took this die here from the basic borders, and I laid it evenly across this part of this little shorter end of the front of the card, and I laid it evenly there, and I went and I ran it through my die cut machine. And when that happens, I came out with this, and I just love that scalloped stitched border there. So then we're going to take the designer series paper, and I cut it down to the normal dimensions. And like I said, I will put that in the description. So I decided I wanted to use this for the front of my card. So basically, I'm going to kind of put it in here and kind of decide where the the borders are. And I'm going to lay this flap over, and I'm going to take the excess that I die cut off, and I'm going to kind of put it back in place here. And then I'm going to lift it up, because here's the thing. If you just go ahead and put adhesive all over this panel here, you're more than likely going to get it on this little edge here, and this edge, and this edge. And then you're not going to be able to open it because it's going to be stuck to the whole card. So I wanted to try to avoid that. So what I did is if you lay the excess that came off, then this will kind of show you where to put your adhesive and where not to put your adhesive. So I am going to make sure I've got this lined up where I like it. And then, and probably what you could do too if you wanted to, and maybe I'll do that. Let's take some removable adhesive, and you can put a little piece on the back here because it's removable. And then you can lay this down, get the border that you like, and just temporarily hold that in place. So I don't know if I put enough there. And then when you lay this here and open that flap up, then you'll kind of see where you can put your adhesive. And so I'm just going to put it on the designer series paper. And I don't want to put too much near the edges because if it oozes out, like I said, you don't want to get it on that back end of that cardstock because then you're going to glue the whole thing together and that would not be good. Okay, so now that I have that down, I can move this out of the way and go ahead and take that flat and put it over and press it down to make sure it's adhered. See, so now when you open the card, this is basically the front of your card. When you open it, you can see this side. And so here's that little bit of adhesive, that removable, but when you just run your fingers over it, you can go ahead and rub that off. So now to get my inside lined up correctly, what I would probably do is line it up with the front of this card before I adhere it down. So then that way, so let's go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this. And then I'll show you what I mean. So I would line it up with this, with the designer paper, then that way you know that you're not going to have excess hanging over. And then now I would just take this back panel and fold it over and press it down and get that glue to stick. There you go. So now we've got that on there. And see, that way you make sure you line it up so you hopefully won't see any of that inside white. It'll look, and I mean, like down here, there might be a little, but you can, maybe, you would want to make sure you cut the inside white just a little bit, just a tiny bit smaller. Okay, so there's that. Now, this card is going to be real simple because all I want to do now is add a sentiment on the front because the designer series paper, what I love, just really makes the card. So I went ahead and I took a piece of scrap basic white and I took my Calypso Coral, and we're using the sentiment from the Sweet Strawberry, and it says, "Happy birthday, you sweet thing." And so all I did was I inked it up and I stamped it on here on my scrap piece of white. And then what I did was I took the die that I wanted to use, and this die comes from the Pretty Pillow box. And this is made to make a pillow box, but I love this one die that's in here. I love the shape. So, and it's stitched. It's really cute, and I love the shape of it. So what I went ahead and did then is I just laid this down here and put the sentiment toward the bottom. And then I took a piece of scrap paper and I took the pear pizzazz and I took the stem from the strawberry, from the sweet strawberry, because see, this has leaves and 3 leaves like there on the designer series paper, and this has 3 leaves. So I went ahead and inked that up in pear pizzazz, and I didn't ink that very well, and I off stamped it, and then I took it over here and I kind of laid it so that, and that's why I off stamped it, because I didn't want it to be too dark, and I just kind of stamped it where that little hump is. And then before re-inking it, I just went ahead and stamped it again. So I had that kind of leaf pattern. I don't know if you can see that. Try to get a little closer. So, and then I went ahead and just took it over to the die cut machine and die cut it out. So the result was this piece right here. So then I kind of wanted to mat it, and of course I would need a bigger piece to mat it. So I just die cut that same image from this die with the Calypso Coral, and I just cut it in half. So basically all I'm going to do now is get my silicone mat here so I don't get glue everywhere. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue just kind of on the top portion here of this die. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to line it up with this one, with half of the one, and I'm going to give it a little border, just so that I have a little border there. And then I'm going to do the same with the bottom half. And then we will have it matted nicely. So lay that on there. And that's what I do like about the glue, is I can move it around and get it exactly where I want it before it has time to dry and be a permanent hold. So once I get that laid out the way I want it, there we go. Give it that little extra push to make sure that it's adhered nicely. So now we have a matted image or sentiment there. I just love the shape of this die. I haven't done anything with the pillow box yet, but hopefully that'll be coming up soon. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to get my Stampin' Dimensionals and go ahead and pop this up on. Now, what did I do with the Stampin' Dimensionals? I just had them here. Oh, here they are. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put several on the back of this so that it doesn't get smushed in the mailing process. Take the backing off of all these dimensionals. And then I'm going to go ahead and mount that in this bottom corner. There we go. Now, of course, we need some bling, and I decided this time to use, I've been using the Artistry Blooms sequins, but I decided I'm going to use the Champagne Rhinestone for something different this week. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my Take Your Pick tool, and let's go ahead and get some, oops, not that side. Let's get some, I'm going to take one of these big ones and just put them randomly on the front of this card. And I'll take a small one over here and another small one, and I think I'll put that probably right there. So there, we have 3 of those on there, and you could put as many as you want. If you wanted to put more. Um, I think I am going to put more. I think I'll put another small one up here, and then another big one down here. So that gives us a total of 5. I like to do odd numbers on my embellishments. So there you have it. And you could easily just put a strip of either the front designer paper or this on the inside here at the bottom. Stamp a sentiment if you wanted, or leave room for writing, or stamp some images. But I'm just going to leave this one plain. But again, what I love about it is you can see both sides of the designer series paper. And this little border just adds to it. I mean, it really just adds to the front of the card. So let me show you one, and this is going to be part of my this month's card class to go kit for the Christmas in August. I'm doing Christmas in July, August, September, October, and November, just to give everyone some more Christmas card ideas. And so I have sent that out by email to everybody on my email list on how you can get the kit. And so if you're not on my email list, you want to make sure that you sign up for that if you don't want to miss out on it. I will put a link to that in the description as well. But tomorrow is the last day to sign up for my Christmas in August card class to go kit. So here is the card that I did just like the one today using the penguin paper. And I used a different border on this. And when you open it up, there's that other side of that designer paper. So you could do that with so many of the papers. And just a quick look at the other cards that I'm doing in this month's kit. Here's another one with that penguin place, and then these 2 with the peaceful deer. So there's this one and then this one. So if you're interested in getting the kit and the tutorial to make those cards, then you only have till tomorrow by the end of the day to sign up for that. So hopefully you enjoyed today's card, and hopefully you got a little inspiration, and hopefully you will take some time to do some crafting today so that you can um, have some fun, and it'll bring you joy as well. So have a great day, everyone, and we will see you next Monday for another episode of my MoJOY Monday. Bye-bye.